Hello, everybody. My name is Robbie, Robert Beard. You can call me Robbie. I'm going to talk a little about my career and about my job history. So my first job was at Six Flags. Excuse me, I have a cold. My first job was at Six Flags. I was the button pusher on a roller coaster, and it was really had nothing to do with career. It was just a way to make some money over the summer when I was in high school. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to find a career. My parents pushed me to go anyway, which backfired because I didn't try at all at college and didn't care. Decided I wanted to be a preacher when I was 19, and that became the first passion I abandoned, I guess. But I had a bad experience out there, and so I chose to stop pursuing it and let that be my excuse to fail. To be honest, I think from the time I was a high schooler, and you probably unpack this as a counselor, I think I feared failing. So I had low self efficacy. I didn't think I could do things, and I didn't want to try because I didn't want to be seen failing because it was a pride thing as well. So when it became hard and when I found obstacles in preaching, I stopped. I came back after that experience, moved back to Georgia from Denver, where the preaching school was, and I tried to. Well, first of all, at the end of high school, I decided I was tired of being shy, so I became outgoing and decided I really liked being outgoing. So I decided to do jobs that were involve people because I was good at it and I liked it. So I started doing a lot of service jobs, waiting tables, bartending, that kind of stuff. I also discovered that I love to play music. And the problem with that passion is that it's hard to get a career in it. My parents said I could do anything I wanted, and I very quickly butted up against this reality that music's not one of those things. And there's a lot more I could have done. I think that lack of self-efficacy played into me not succeeding at music. So I think I could have tried a lot harder, but instead I just said it's hard, so I'm going to fail anyway, so I try. So I played lots of music, and I've played for money, but I'm never really pushed as hard as I could have to go anywhere with it. Recently, in more recent times, my self-efficacy has improved a lot. I went back to school, to college. A few years ago, I started back, and I decided that I wanted to be, that I was studying something I was interested in, and it made a big difference. I wanted to be there, and I realized, hey, I can do this. I can study. I can get good grades. So I pushed in, and I realized that I do have some self-efficacy. I do have the ability to succeed at things, and I could get things done, and I could stick it out even when it was difficult. So that's kind of how I've gotten to where I am now, job-wise. My current job, I am on the Starbucks College Achievement Plan here at Arizona State. So I work at a Starbucks as a shift supervisor. I'm going to rate these. So I have enough time to get the job done, and my workload is reasonable. A and B, I'm going to give those both a 5. I work in a non-drive-through store, just a cafe. If you're at Starbucks, you know what that means. So I don't really have the crunch a lot of people have when they have a drive-through in their store. So I feel like those are pretty good. I am involved in decisions that affect my work. Put that about 2.5, about halfway through. I do get asked my opinion by my store manager, whose ability to involve me in decisions is really minimal. And the corporate structure does not have any interest in your opinions or your input at all, basically. So it's kind of hard for us to even input ideas at all. I have the opportunity to develop my skills and knowledge. I feel like I kind of came into this job with the knowledge I already had, and I kind of use that every day. So it's not really their fault, but I'd give that a 2. The people I work with cooperate to get the job done. I'm gonna give that a 4.5. My team is pretty good. Occasionally you get teenagers that don't work very hard or whatever, but that's far and few between. My manager listens and responds to my ideas and concerns. Yes, he gets a 5. I've heard horror stories, and I'm lucky I've got a good one. My total compensation, salary, and benefits reflect my job performance. Yeah, for the most part, Starbucks has pretty good benefits, honestly. And my pay could be a little higher, but when wouldn't you say that? I'm satisfied with career opportunities available in our company. That's a 2. They talk a big game about wanting to promote you and develop your potential, and they don't really do much about it. They'll give it lip service, and when you actually try, there's nothing available, and they hire people from outside the company, and they don't even look at your application. So that's the problem. There's an open and honest two-way communication in this company. Not really above store manager level. Corporate doesn't do a good job of that. My job performance has been evaluated fairly. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say I get pretty well respected for the job I do. I used to work at a factory, Kubota Tractor Factory. So I'm running out of time. I'll go quickly through this, but I haven't had time to get the job done. Yeah, I was okay, about a 4. My workload is reasonable. No, 1, because they worked us about 80, 85 hours a week. It was mandatory overtime. There was no work-life balance. The workload, the hours of the workload were just completely unreasonable. I'm involved in decisions that affect my work is also a 1. Also, with honest and open two-way communication, I'm just going to go ahead and say both of those. The people on top were in charge. You were not. We don't need to hear about it. We don't care about your opinion. I have the opportunity to develop my skills and knowledge. Yeah, they trained me on a forklift. They tried to give me additional skills to make me useful to the company. The people I work with cooperate to get the job done. Yeah, most people did. We'll give it like a 4. Manager listens and responds to my ideas and concerns. He gets a 3. He was all right with that. My total compensation adequately reflects my job. They didn't pay me enough. They should have paid me more for the job they had me do. So I'm going to give that 3 because it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. Career opportunities, no, those are mostly reserved for the Japanese people running this company. They didn't really promote anyone that was from America to a high position. And my job performance was evaluated. I don't feel like it got evaluated much, but I would say, yeah, probably relatively fairly. The way I would improve both those jobs, I think, is just to encourage people in positions of leadership to listen to and validate the people underneath them and the people working for them, and just to listen to their opinions and to incorporate those into the way they run their business. I think that would be a huge step in both those companies towards making all the employees feel more accepted. Thank you guys for listening. That's my project, and lovely being in this class.